Good morning, YouTube. Today is February 6th. Yes. Day 37 of my vlogging series for the 100 pounds down. And I kind of got a lot to talk about now. First of all, I'm no longer employed. Second of all, it's 5:16 in the morning. So let's go over that real quick. I went to work this morning. I had work at 4 o'clock. And I went in. And as you all know, if you watched my video from yesterday, the short little crappy video that I did make, we had to go to the emergency room because my wife is very nauseous and she's been throwing up a lot. And, she's just kind of having it hard with this pregnancy. So we go to the emergency room at about 2:30 in the morning, and I had work at 4. And so, I called my boss at like 3. Not called, I texted my boss at like 3 in the morning and said, hey, I'm not going to make it. I'm at the hospital, my wife's sick, and so on and so forth. And the only thing I get from my boss is like, are you kidding me? Kind of an answer. And that's the text I got back. And it's like, yeah, sorry, I have to deal with family issues. So that's what I'm doing. And, I'll be there tomorrow. What can I do? So I go in this morning, and my boss's boss is there. And it's like, oh, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Not much. Okay, well, there's a paper for you to sign. He's there because he wants me to sign my write-up. I had a write-up for not showing up yesterday. And, that's understandable. My boss can't be there, so my boss's boss is there. And, and he's telling me that I can't work until I sign this write-up. And let me tell you guys, I have not, this whole time that I've been working, I have not called in. I have not even been late 5 minutes. I have never been late. I have not called in. My work has been perfect. So I go in and he says, sign this paper and then you can get to work. And it's a write-up, and I'm looking at it, and it's not only a verbal, but also a first written warning, which, at these places you're supposed to get a verbal, then a first, then a second, then, time off, no pay or whatever, and then you get fired. And I'm looking at this, and I asked him, I said, is this a verbal and a written warning? And he says, yes. And I said, I'm not signing this. That's not the way this works. I'm supposed to get a verbal, and I'm not even supposed to get a verbal because I told him I have the note from the doctors. This was an emergency, and I text saying I couldn't make it. It wasn't a no-call, no-show. It's not like I didn't show up, and it's not like I didn't say anything. And I said, so I did call in and say I wasn't going to make it. Oh, I know, but, this is the way we do things. And it's like, no, it's not, because, you have to give me first a written warning, first a verbal warning, and then a written warning. I said, why is there both on here? And he was like, well, that's just, the way your boss wants to work it. So I told him I'm not signing it. He says, well, if you don't sign it, then you can't clock in and you can't work. And I said, fine. I said, I'm not going to, because I'm just not. I was like, first of all, you guys haven't been treating me. This is not what I told them. So first of all, they haven't been treating me very well anyway, And after I told them, like, look, my back hurts. I can't work for 9 hours a day. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go to part-time. They weren't happy about that. And it's like, well, what can I do? Sorry, I'm a big guy. I have to lose weight. That's just the way life goes. And, so whatever. So I walked out pretty much. I told them I'm not going to work. And I said, if this is the way you guys are going to be, then you can take my badge and walk me out. And that's what we did. So I quit, essentially, because it's not right for them to give me a verbal and a written warning. For the first time, I did an emergency no-show. And I have proof that it was an emergency, and they wouldn't accept it. They didn't care. That's just the way they treated me. So fine. You know what? I got way too much self-respect. And I know this doesn't have a lot to do with my weight loss thing, but it kind of does. I took the job for the weight loss, not to be treated like a, like a peasant. I don't know how else to put it. But you know what this does mean? As you all know, I'm lactose intolerant, so now I can eat dairy, and this is going to be my breakfast. I bought this the other day, and I've been waiting for like a day off to eat it, but it's, let's see, 2% milk fat pineapple cottage cheese. I love it. Love it. I mean, cottage cheese on its own is kind of but cottage cheese with pineapple is just like heaven. I'm a little bit tired. So that's the way my morning went. Yeah. So it happens. And we agreed. I talked to my wife that I'm not going to take another job. I'm not going to look for work until after the baby's born, which is about a month from now. So, I get a month off. And then I'll, if everything's cool, baby's fine, she's fine, then I'm heading back to work. But we just kind of figure, she's been throwing up for the last 24 hours. She hasn't been feeling too well, and I just need to be here for her. So if it means I got to take a month off, then I'll take a month off, and then I'll go back to work when things settle down, if things ever settle down. But thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. It's really weird. I just totally got caught off guard because there's 2 bags of I don't know what in the sink. And I'm just like, all right. Thanks for listening to my rant. I guess I can kind of say this is a rant video. But I know I'm going to put in the title, I quit, I'm done. And then you're all going to think like, oh, he's quitting his vlogging and he's done. And then people are going to click on it. I don't know. So, about to eat some pineapple cottage cheese because I don't have to worry about having an upset stomach at work. And yes, I do eat fruit, bananas. And thanks for subscribing. Count your calories. This will be counted, by the way. Let's go over that for a second. So this thing is 110 calories for half a cup, and there's 2 cups in here, making it about 440 calories for this whole thing. So I can eat this whole thing, and that's not even quite a breakfast for me. So I'm going to eat that, I'm going to watch a movie, and I'm just going to relax and not think about, the idiots that I had to deal with at work. I know we've all been there. So, again, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.